Howdy, all you delicious people. I think today is just gonna be a freaking anime day. I think there have been a lot of animes. 'Cause it's been a while since I've talked about anime. I have seen anime. I've seen quite a bit of it. And it's been a while since talking about it. I've probably reviewed some recently, like One Punch Man on the other channel on Grim Death Griffin. I reviewed that. Hopefully, I keep all these names because otherwise, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be keep saying like these names and like a billion other videos, and that's the whole thing. That like you kind of are very concerned that more than likely some reference of something or some mention of something somewhere could trigger some stupid YouTube thing. Um, but that's the whole thing. It's like, well, like really there might have been some stuff where like I probably will maybe have to go through certain videos like, hey, did I say something that I probably shouldn't have said, and now I probably should have either removed that video or edited something out, which how am I going to be able to do? How am I going to edit out something that I like said but saved the video, which would be cuz a lot of times a lot of these it's all random points all tied together. So yeah, it's just the fact of just like I would have to go through each and every video just to see if there's some lingering thing that I left that I shouldn't have referenced some movie or I shouldn't have referenced some. It basically just like, well, why not just start from the beginning and work our way back up? But it's just the fact that it's like, well, or just go through a certain time period and just work my way backwards through videos just to see if there's any reference with it. But yeah, it's reasonably, it's just meh. It's kind of like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I gotta transfer over so many reviews on the other channel. So you guys are gonna see if you go to that other channel, you guys can see a lot of uh, old videos that are on this channel over there. Why does she look darker? She looks like a darker green. That's a weird color palette. And I don't even know why I put so much health in that character because I don't even really use her. Okay. Why are they lighter there, but in this screen they're what? Why do they tint these characters? Why do they have to tint them or change their brightness? I guess in terms. Hopefully, whichever level we're gonna go into, as we just wasted some resources that we could have spent on leveling up some characters. God, she just looks like she's been like she was like through a chimney. That's what she looks like. Looks like she was like, hey, let's put some soot on this person. What a what a I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Hopefully everything is going well in that run of the mill. But yeah, anime. Uh, I don't think there's anything wrong with still watching anime. I think reasonably there are some interesting anime that I think people have not yet to watch because there's only I think a lot of people just go through the most popular ones, and really that's not fun. Like you're gonna probably watch a lot of just like I would say like reasonably you gotta I think test the waters a lot. You gotta just hey this is an interesting visual and watch that. Probably go on a pilot episode just be like yeah this is garbage and then just not watch it. I thought Mob Psycho 100 was hilarious. God was that fun. Oh my god, I wish there was a million seasons of that show. I would watch the heck out of it. God was that show fun. Just emphatically so good. I also I think I reviewed Akira at one point, and then I had to like, because I had also reviewed Evil Dead 1 and 2 in that same review, and I'd realized justifiably, I'm like, is the woman that is postered on that review? I could have probably just changed the image, and it probably would have been a fine, okay review to do, and more than likely everything would have worked out. But I'm really just assuming, how about I just pull apart that and maybe just review Evil Dead 1 and 2 on its own, or like kind of pull apart from those, I think, four movies that I probably reviewed. Because I think I did Evil Dead 1 and 2, and then I think I did Akira, and I think I did something else after that, which I don't remember what it was. Uh, Probably something not interesting enough for me to care at this moment, because there's so much rattling around in this brain, and plus I'm also just talking about anime. But Akira, I think, was a really fun, interesting, like visual movie. Uh, but so is a lot of risque anime movies and shows. Uh, Immediately, I would probably have to talk about any single anime that I would have had to have forcibly taken down. Um, Akira's Trip. And here's the thing: if you guys don't know a free way to say that you've seen any anime, go to Anime Bogo. Anime spelled the normal way, and then BOGO. You can watch any of this stuff for free. You don't need any fees or anything like that. You just I God, there was some Darker Than Black, or yeah, I think it was Darker Than Black that I finally got to start watching that. And I was like, man, I gotta watch this and review it, because I actually, there was something about it that was visually interesting. But I don't know, every single time I went into it, I was like, God, there's not like something that is really grabbing me 100% and keeping me here. Like, I think Bleach was a really interesting show, but I think after certain seasons, I was like, man, this is difficult to watch. I think once we got to the third season, I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I hated it. It was just like they had some goofy like fairy things going on, and a cat that talks. Like, what is this show anymore? But uh, I saw one episode of One Piece. I was like, this show is weird. Got a like Popeye like episode where you have the guy's arms like Mr. Fantastic flinging at people. It's like, what is this show? Like, there is something visually interesting about it, but I was like, this feels like Popeye to me. I'm watching basically Popeye. Um, but yeah, there's some probably some interesting female visually looking animes, probably like Prison School, which again you could kind of see that on the Anime Bogo. High School of the Dead, which is freaking awesome. If you haven't seen High School of the Dead, you are missing out. That is such an amazing anime, and it has uh, school kids killing zombies. It's pretty great. Uh, there was an anime called Freezing that was weird and bizarre, but had the same lines of good looking women with basically, to the point of, during battles, next to nothing on. I think I could say next to nothing, and no red flags are being thrown up, I'm assuming. There's that. There's Wicked City, which I think was at some point on Tubi, but I don't know if it's still on there. Apocalypse Now, holy, or Apocalypse Zero, there we go. God, was that show freaking weird. A lot of people are like, don't recommend that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't, but And plus, it was like a very small series that only lasted a couple episodes. But I was watching anything. Like it was basically to the point where I was just like, oh, let's Death Parade. Yeah, let's watch Death Parade. What is this? There was also an anime called How Heavy Is the Dumbbell That You Lift? I think you might have to go through the Japanese translation of it, but I think there was also some. God, there was some show. Oh my god, it was some anime called like King something, or it was like King's Throne or something like that, where you had a bunch of these kids that were all getting these texts to forcibly play this game together, and there was somebody forcing them to do all these things, and I thought that anime was amazing. And like a lot of times it's basically consistently like, well, hey, this nerdy girl and this cheerleader, you have to like have some 7 minutes in heaven, so to speak, and you have to do that or you're going to die, or so and so person is going to die. And so justifiably, some kids would have to knock out other kids, so they would have to perform these tasks on this person while they are knocked out. And I'm like, man, this is some crazy stuff, because people just will not do it. And then they're just like, if you see in the very first pilot episode, like a person just like the way they die just looks horrific. So it's basically telling people that they have to do these tasks within the 24 hours or someone could die. Someone could die. Interesting show, but when looking at it, like, and that's just the crevice of anime stuff that I know. There was like Cutie Honey. Started watching that, and I was like, wow. I think Kill La Kill was also one of those, or Akami Ga Kill. Those are Akami Ga Kill. Man, I think when looking at that now, I have probably cemented that that was like my all-time favorite anime until I think there might have been a Darwin's Game. Darwin's Game was single-handedly just over the top, like over the moon. Just I couldn't. I need to go back and rewatch that, even though I've already reviewed it. It's just I love that anime. I love it. It's great. Oh man, it's a video game. It's a video game anime. How can you not love that? It's like Ready Player One all over again, except for done in real life, where people's lives are on the line. It's freaking awesome. Oh my god. If you've never seen Darwin's Game, which is a weird title, I know, but if you've never seen, go into Anime Bogo. Even if you're not an anime fan, and just watch that show, and you'll understand quite possibly why I liked it so much. Even if you hate anime and you're like, God, I don't want him to talk about anime today. I'm talking about it. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemy or Full Metal Brotherhoods and all that stuff. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it. I try to watch it and I'm like, I don't understand this. And this is coming from a person that loves kind of like medieval times, like people in armor kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't quite get the show. Um, I've watched all kinds of animes, which Dora Hidoro or Doro Hidoro. Man, that thing was kind of interesting. It was on I think it was on Netflix, and I think it still is on Netflix. Just mind-bogglingly interesting. Talking about like a magical world where you have these people that have these like interesting masks, and you have this girl that like puts up a front like she looks like a man, but then she like unsheaths her her work suit, and it's like this full on like gorgeous looking woman, and it's like what? I'm so confused. Anime, you're confusing me. But yeah, still need to see. God, there was one anime called Claw something. I'm like, I need to see stuff and or things. But yeah, but I just recently saw. God, there. If anything, yeah. If there's any anime recommendations, I need to get back into anime. I need to start reviewing it and start going back into it. I'm sure there was at some points some anime reviews that I ended up taking down. I think there was even one where I mentioned like Golden Boy. That one was kind of interesting, where you had this really bizarrish guy that he would consistently be this guy that was like the wrong place at the wrong time, but every single like gorgeous looking woman would be like hitting on him, and it never made sense to me. Why all of these like supermodel ish like women would be looking at this guy that a lot of times would sound very honestly just annoying, to be brutally honest. But I don't know, I was just like I was just like it was a car crash. You couldn't like look away with this show. So I just kept on watching it, and I was like, this is the oddest thing. Um if anything, I was waiting for an anime that is kind of like the Marvel character Moon Knight, where ultimately the entire time you're assessing whether this person is crazy or not the entire show. Like if everything really is going on, like I think Devilman Crybaby, I think is kind of like that, where you're kind of assessing like is this guy crazy the entire time, uh, and I think that's still on Netflix. I think I was gonna try to review it at some point. I started watching it and I'm like, oh my god, this is another one of those animes like the first season of My Hero Academia, where the character, of course, because the words in the title, cries and cries a lot. And I was like, I don't know if I can watch any more animes where people cry all the time. I need to have people really aggressive, punching people in the face, and just consistently angry. They don't. I think it'll probably get annoying if they have to yell all the time. But like, give me a person that is putting a fist through someone's head, and I'll watch that. I'm not gonna watch somebody like, boo, or when you have a lot of those, like a lot of the girl animes where like they have to cry. I just I don't like anime crying things. Why did they make so many of those? I don't get the concept of them. I don't get why that is a that was a yeah, you know what'd be great in this episode? Make the girl cry. She's got to cry for like 20 minutes. She's got to blubber her way through getting through the show. God, there was some anime where you had, I think it was still on Netflix, that I think I probably still quite possibly maybe reviewed at some point. Berserk was really good. I thought that was great. God, there was some anime where these girls were idols, but they actually weren't girls. They were actually yakuzas, but they had to go through a uh, a transplant of sorts to disguise themselves as these idols. What a weird, bizarre show, but a show that I was like, God, this is another just too many car crashes. You can't look away at them. I think that's always the way to go about doing anime is just like you gotta make it so it's to the point of like, oh my god, I gotta see every single episode. You can't just like, oh yeah, well I hated the pilot, so I'm probably like gonna hate everything else. Like I think a lot of animes, I don't think a lot of animes I had to have it like grow on me. Like I don't think I would have that. I think Dragon Ball Z might be a one that like I'm so trying. I'm trying to really want to just like I never quite understood Dragon Ball Z. I want to try I want to try and figure it out, but it's I I don't know. I don't know if I'm into much of like karate anime anymore. Like there might be like some like even to me like while watching some boxing animes, I was just going like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. There has to be a really good story, and a lot of times there isn't. And it's like, okay, well, I tried at least. I tried. Like I'm trying to beat this level. How long have I talked for? Trying to beat this level. Come on, let this be the one. Let this sweet, delicious victory be it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You got, dude. Let's try two more times, and then we'll probably go into the Channel 6 Rush. Did I even victory anywhere? I don't even know if I victoried. Yikes. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think I beat the other level. I think that's why I'm trying this one so hard. It was a try hard. In my early days, like die hard. Uh, come on. Let's see which character we can do here. Let's have Raph come up here. Gosh. Ooh. Sticky, sticky. Um, I think I started watching. Uh, not the one that I was just gonna mention, but uh, Gantz. Gantz is a very interesting anime. Oh my god, that live action movie is the bomb. Oh my god, Gantz the live action movie is just oh. And then you got the series. Yeah, what a fun series. You get a guy who buys an adult book, let's just say. I loved Gantz. The movie probably better than the show because I think the show like really slows its way into it and like every single round that they do, man, is Gantz is so good and I need to eventually figure out a way to really want to go back into that because I gotta check to see. I think I did the Gantz live action, the Gantz movie, and I think that that was clean enough. But I think the series is another thing that I'll have to eventually go into. But Gantz, oh my god, I was so like, man, this is almost like a video game thing, but it's kind of like it's not. And plus, you'd get this like these romance situations where you would have this girl that is admittedly after some other guy, and that but she's living with one of the guys that was from the that was from her round, but she's just pining away over some other guy that half of the time wasn't even trying to kill anybody. like he was just going, maybe we shouldn't shoot anybody. Maybe we're going about this all wrong. And all the while, this other guy that was buying the adult uh, comic book of sorts or whatever, he was actually killing a bunch of people. He would, like, while everyone else was standing around, he was murdering, like trying to very much murder every single one of these aliens that were coming out of the woodwork, and like reasonably, like he doesn't get the girl at the end. Well, season two, you could debate that. Uh, he gets a quasi grand prize at the end of all this, but I honestly think that the approach of the movie I think was a little bit better. I think there was a little bit of much more rules. I like the rules better in the movie than this this show. Second season, man, was that a deflator. It was like, dude, they're just standing around for like 2 episodes. They're doing nothing. That's probably my biggest complaint was they were doing nothing for they were just standing around. And then one guy was like, "Hey, are you gonna kill somebody or what? Hey!" Like that's what he sounded like through the entire show. Hey, that's what he sounded like. You stupid schmucks, me! He sounded like a very angry Marge from The Simpsons. Homie! Homer! I'm gonna kill you! Hey! But yeah, so, uh, I don't know, I saw Ultraman. That was interesting. I don't know, I was trying to, like, I was always trying to figure out if there is, like, if there's something that felt like a Power Rangers or like a Godzilla, but also had an interesting story, which is good luck finding that. Like I think Big O like that was great. That had like story and it had like cool like effects things going on. Assassination Classroom was pretty cool. It had kind of like battle royale vibes. Well, I guess we're gonna be stuck freaking going to the Channel 6 rush for a couple minutes, I guess. Sorry if I didn't beat a level, if I did beat a level. Yeah, you beat one level. Okay, cool. I kind of, like, I think vampire anime was something that, I don't know, I never really got into. I started watching, God, what was it? JoJo, something with I think it was like JoJo Bizarro or something like that. I think I started really watching that, and I was like okay, I think I can like get into this. Like I think it was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, maybe is what it was called. I think I saw Venture Bros, but that's something different. Um, yeah, I think I saw JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it was between JoJo and it was between God, what was the other guy? It was JoJo and some other guy, and the other guy like eventually turned into being at odds with this guy because he had eventually been adopted by this father, and really the adopted kid was trying to be better than the biological kid, and which is JoJo. And so we have it to where like it got to the point where there was a consistent battle of who was better. To the point where this other guy besides JoJo, he got this like mask and placed it on him, and it turned him into a vampire. Uh, and like I was like, man, this show is so. I liked it because it was like the two of these sons were vying for their father's affection, ultimately driving them to the point of being like bitter enemies, and to the point to where people were going through desperate measures to try to one up one another to the point of being vampires. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like I think that one didn't feel like a traditional vampire route, but I watched like Castlevania and I'm like I guess I'll review Castlevania, but I don't know. I like that one was kind of too like I liked it, but there was just something about it where I'm like, okay, this feels more like monster movie than vampires. Why is but that's straight up just Castlevania for you. Like if you ever watch it in the like the Nintendo stuff, especially with the what Game Grumps would do, or pretty much anybody, because Castlevania is fairly popular. Uh, yeah, it's really just monsters. I'm like, okay, well, like why? God, what was? I think it might have been. Yeah, I think it was Castlevania 2, where you had the two guys that were like conjuring monsters, and you had them be the good grief, it's a little loud, I apologize. But yeah, they were under the guise of Dracula, and they were like forced to protect him, and even forced to do his bidding. And because there were just people above them that were stronger than they were, so they ended up forcibly having to do with whatever they said, or they would have been tortured to the nth degree of their lives. So they justifiably did whatever they were told, or really like forced into uh, a love potion by somebody, and then just said like, "Well, yeah, you're gonna do every single thing that I tell you to do, or you can't not do it." There's a lot of spell casting. It's really interesting. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Ultimately, there's probably a ton more anime stuff I could probably talk about, and so maybe there's another video where that's gonna come out where I'm gonna talk about that today. So it's probably gonna be an anime day, or I'm probably just gonna switch to maybe just talk about more movies. Saw Peppermint and Jack Frost recently. That is also on the other channel. I reviewed those. Grim Death Griffin, you can check those out. But yeah, whatever you want. I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.